Right now, in South Korea, dating has become less like a romantic journey and more like a high-stakes, cold-blooded property inspection. Imagine you are looking for a house. You do not just walk in, see if it feels like home, and decide. No, it's never that simple. You bring a clipboard, a flashlight, and a toxic judgmental attitude. You check the integrity of the walls, complain about the square footage, tell the owner you saw a better place down the street while standing in his living room, and then leave without making an offer. That is essentially what is happening on Korean dating shows right now, and it is every bit as insane as it sounds. Really, the most shocking thing is how blatant this behavior has become, with people treating potential life partners like mere assets in a volatile portfolio.
Wait, are you serious? Is this really happening? I cannot believe anyone would actually treat dating like that. It sounds absolutely soulless.
Believe it, because the reality is even more jarring than the description. This all stems from a deeply ingrained, ruthless capitalist mindset that has completely infected how people connect. But why would they actually demand this level of cold, clinical evaluation? It comes down to a warped view of human worth where the drive for personal gain has completely overshadowed empathy. Korean women, often facing immense pressure to secure status and stability, have been pushed into a framework where they are told their only value lies in what they can acquire. This is the ultimate toxic problem. It is not just a personal quirk, it is a desperate attempt to optimize their own lives, as if they are fighting to survive in a brutal, competitive marketplace. They have been conditioned to believe that if they do not ruthlessly analyze and discard anything less than perfect, they will somehow lose in the game of life. It is the commodification of intimacy taken to its most extreme and destructive conclusion. Everything from a partner's financial status to their personality traits is stripped down to raw data points and compared against an imaginary, impossible market value. In their minds, they are not looking for a connection. They are scouting for the best possible deal before someone else snatches it up. It is a vicious, unending cycle of comparison that leaves no room for genuine human feeling. This is where the true tragic nature of the situation begins to manifest itself. Here is a brief look at how this plays out in real time.
Honestly, I felt like you were treating me like a house you were thinking about buying, but had already decided was overpriced.
That is unfair. I was just trying to be realistic and understand if our long-term goals and asset management styles were actually compatible.
That interaction perfectly encapsulates the problem. The focus is entirely on utility and long-term gain, completely ignoring the basic need for affection and shared joy. It is a sterile transactional approach that turns potential partners into mere statistics on a spreadsheet.
That is just heartbreaking. They are missing out on the whole point of being with someone. How can they not see that they are destroying the very possibility of happiness?
They cannot see it because they are blinded by the cultural context of all of this, specifically something called imjang. Now, for those who do not know, imjang is a very specific, very frustrating phenomenon in Korea. It is property tourism, groups of people who go around touring houses they have absolutely zero intention of buying, just to waste time and perform expertise. It is done for personal entertainment or to look like they are in the know. And now, this behavior has been perfectly exported into the dating sphere. It is the ultimate tire kicker culture. You have contestants who act like they are just looking at potential spouses, constantly comparing, endlessly analyzing and demanding a perfect match, while offering absolutely no emotional substance themselves. It is the complete dehumanization of the dating pool. It is not just rude, it is a fundamental shift in how people view their own roles as participants in society. People are so consumed by the need to appear analytical and shrewd that they have lost the ability to simply be human.
That explains a lot. So, it is basically a performative act? They are not actually looking for a partner, they are just playing a part in a game they think they need to win?
Exactly, and that is where it gets really dark. So what happened when they got exactly what they asked for? What happens when you treat the entire world like a market? They end up alone. It is the ultimate irony, the cold logic of capitalism punishing the naive. By applying such rigid, impossible standards, they are not building a better future, they are paralyzing their own lives. They spend so much time comparing men and women like commodities that they lose the ability to actually form a bond. They are looking for a perfect asset that does not exist, and in the process they become the most unattractive listing on the market. They are so busy analyzing the drywall that they miss the fact that the house is already sold. It is a hilarious, tragic, and entirely avoidable disaster that perfectly summarizes the sickness of modern transactional dating.
It is like they are holding a magnifying glass to everyone else's flaws, while their own chances of finding love are just evaporating right in front of them. It is almost poetic in a dark, twisted way.
It truly is, but it goes deeper than just individual failures. People have been convinced that failure to optimize for the best partner is a failure to secure a viable future. Every interaction has become an interview. Every conversation is a screening process. There is no spontaneity, no room for mistakes, no space for the messy, unpredictable nature of real connection. They have built an entire world out of metrics and benchmarks, and they are now trapped inside it. This is why the reaction from the public has been so intense. People recognize this behavior because they have either been treated like an imjang target or they have felt the pressure to act like one. It is an ugly mirror being held up to modern life.
I have definitely felt that pressure before, even if it was not quite this extreme. It is like everywhere you turn, people are judging you based on some secret checklist you never even agreed to. Oh, it's draining.
And it is only getting worse. This is not just a passing phase, it is a fundamental change in social interaction. The logic of the marketplace is bleeding into everything: friendships, professional growth, and family ties. We are creating a society of highly efficient, highly analytical, but fundamentally isolated individuals who are rich in criteria but poor in connection. They are constantly chasing a benchmark that moves further away the closer they get to it. This constant state of evaluation is mentally exhausting, creating higher levels of anxiety, self-obsession, and existential dissatisfaction. It is a recipe for a lonely, empty future for anyone who buys into it.
Do you ever feel like we are just running out of time because we spent all our energy interviewing each other instead of actually getting to know each other?
I do. And the scariest part is that I do not know how to stop doing it because everything else feels so reckless now.
That is the terrifying reality. They are fully aware of what they are doing, but they feel trapped by the very systems they have helped create. It is a tragic self-imposed prison of their own design. The only way out is to reject the premise entirely, to stop viewing human life as a series of investments and returns, and to start valuing the subjective, messy, and absolutely essential nature of genuine connection. We need to be able to see people, not products, and value them for who they are, not what they can provide. The alternative, as we have seen, is a path that leads nowhere but isolation.
It really makes you appreciate just how fragile and important real, honest relationships are. I think I am going to go call my partner and actually listen to them for once. Thanks for opening my eyes to this.
That is the first step, truly. Shifting away from this hyper-analytical, transactional mindset might be the only way to save ourselves from a future where everyone is constantly evaluating and nobody is ever truly connected. This is a battle for the very soul of our personal lives, and it is happening right under our noses. From the way we approach a first date to the expectations we hold for our partners, every small decision matters in this larger, darker shift towards the total commodification of everything we hold dear. If we do not act to reclaim the space for genuine, uncalculated human warmth, the lessons of this phenomenon are clear, and they are stark. We have to be the ones to break the cycle. We have to be the ones to prioritize feeling over calculating and empathy over utility. It is not an easy task, but it is necessary. Fuel the truth at Dating in Korea. Support the structure. Stay safe in the lounge.